0. The first enemy. Welcome back to animevis_lore. Fire. If you're new here, subscribe and join us for another epic what if anime story. The door opened completely. Zero stepped into the chamber. Naruto stared at him. You have my face. Zero smiled. And Sasuke's eyes. Sasuke raised his sword. Then what are you? Zero answered. I am what existed before either of you. Astra stepped backward. Zero was the first failed choice. Quote. Naruto frowned. Failed choice. Zero looked at him. When the first reality was created, there were three possibilities. He raised one hand. Creation. He looked at Sasuke. Protection. Then he pointed toward himself. And destruction. The chamber shook. Zero continued. I was supposed to disappear. But I refused. Naruto clenched his fist. So you've been hiding all this time? Zero laughed. I was waiting. Quote. For what? For Naruto and Sasuke to become strong enough to open the door. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. You used us. Zero nodded. Yes. Naruto stepped forward. Then why reveal yourself now? Zero looked toward the countless red eyes surrounding them. Because the world tree is connected to me. The origin, the first rule, the archive, the author, all of them were fragments of my power. Quote. Naruto's expression changed. So you've been behind everything. Zero smiled. Not everything. Only the parts that needed to happen. Naruto's chakra began rising. You manipulated our entire journey. Quote. Zero replied. And every time I pushed you toward darkness, you chose something better. He looked at Sasuke. Every time I gave him a reason to hate, he chose friendship. Then he looked at Naruto. Every time I gave you a reason to give up, you chose hope. Zero's smile disappeared. That is why I hate you. Naruto looked confused. Why? Because you proved that choice is stronger than destiny. Quote. Zero raised his hand. The chamber exploded with dark energy. Naruto activated Sage Mode. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. Astra created a barrier. Zero appeared behind Naruto instantly. Naruto barely blocked the attack. Sasuke attacked from the side. Zero stopped his sword with 2 fingers. Predictable. He threw Sasuke across the chamber. Naruto rushed forward. Zero caught his Rasengan. You still rely on the same power. Quote. Naruto smiled. Not anymore. The Rasengan transformed into golden light. Zero's expression changed. What is that? Naruto answered. Every choice we've made. The attack exploded. Zero was pushed backward. For the first time, blood appeared on his face. He touched it, then smiled. Finally. Naruto frowned. Finally what? Zero's eyes began glowing. Now I can fight you seriously. The entire chamber disappeared. Naruto and Sasuke found themselves standing in a completely empty dimension. No world tree, no portals, no realities, only Zero. He raised both hands. Welcome to the Zero dimension. The sky turned black, and Naruto realized something terrifying. Here, there were no rules. Not even the rules of reality. Zero smiled. Let's see what Naruto Uzumaki can become when nothing is there to save him. The Zero dimension. Naruto stood in complete darkness. There was no ground beneath his feet. No sky, no chakra, no sound. Sasuke was nowhere to be seen. Naruto looked around. Sasuke. Nothing. Then Zero appeared in front of him. You are alone now. Naruto clenched his fist. Where is Sasuke? Zero smiled. Where he has always belonged. Outside your story. Naruto's expression hardened. Bring him back. Zero shook his head. You still don't understand. In this dimension, connections don't exist. Only individuals. Naruto looked at his hand. His chakra was disappearing. Zero continued. You spent your entire life becoming stronger because of the people around you. Quote. Take them away. What remains? Naruto closed his eyes. He remembered everything. Iruka, Kakashi, Sasuke, Jiraiya, Kushina, Minato, Hinata, Boruto, every person who had shaped his life. Zero whispered. Forget them. Naruto opened his eyes. I don't need to. Zero frowned. They aren't here. Naruto smiled. They don't have to be. Suddenly, a small golden light appeared inside Naruto's chest. Zero stepped backward. What is that? Naruto answered. Memory. The golden light expanded. The darkness began cracking. Zero attacked. Naruto blocked the strike with his bare hand. Zero's eyes widened. You have no chakra. Naruto smiled. Then I won't use chakra. He punched Zero. The impact shook the entire dimension. Zero flew backward. Naruto followed. Every punch carried a memory. Every strike carried a choice. Zero tried to erase them. But they kept returning. You can't erase something people choose to remember. Zero screamed. Memories are weakness. Naruto stopped. No, memories are what make us who we are. Quote. A portal suddenly opened. Sasuke stepped through. Naruto smiled. Sasuke. Sasuke looked at him. You took your time. Naruto laughed. I was looking for you. Zero stared at them. How did you escape? Quote. Sasuke raised his sword. You made one mistake. Zero frowned. What? Sasuke answered. You assumed we needed this dimension to connect. Naruto stepped beside him. We don't. Their chakra began connecting. The Zero dimension started breaking. Zero shouted. No. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. Naruto entered Sage mode. Together, they attacked. Zero blocked their first strike. Then the second. Then the third. But with every attack, the dimension became weaker. Astra's voice echoed from outside. Naruto. Naruto looked upward. The door is opening. Zero suddenly smiled. You think that's your victory? Naruto stopped. Zero pointed behind them. A massive white door appeared. Beyond it was an endless ocean of light. Sasuke frowned. What is that? Zero answered. The place where every failed reality goes. Quote. Naruto stared. Failed reality. Zero nodded. Every world that couldn't survive. Every Naruto who gave up. Every Sasuke who fell into darkness. Every story that ended before it could begin. Quote. The door opened. Millions of silhouettes appeared. All of them looked toward Naruto. Then they spoke together. Save us. Naruto's expression changed. Sasuke looked at him. Naruto. Naruto stepped toward the door. I know. Zero smiled. You can't save them all. Naruto looked back. Maybe. But I'm going to try. He stepped through the door. Sasuke followed. Zero remained behind. His smile disappeared. That's exactly what I wanted. The door closed. And Naruto suddenly realized the truth. Zero had never wanted to defeat him. He wanted Naruto to enter the failed realities. Because somewhere inside them was something far more dangerous than Zero. Something that had been waiting since the beginning. A voice whispered from the darkness. Welcome, Naruto. We have been waiting for you. The failed realities. Naruto and Sasuke stood inside the ocean of failed realities. Thousands of broken worlds floated around them. Some were completely dark. Some were frozen in time. Others were trapped in endless battles. Naruto looked around. So many worlds. Sasuke nodded. These are all realities that couldn't survive. A voice echoed from the darkness. Not couldn't. Were never allowed to. Naruto turned. A group of figures appeared. Each one looked different, but all of them carried the same symbol. A broken circle. The leader stepped forward. We are the Forgotten. Naruto asked. Who destroyed your worlds? The leader answered. Zero. Sasuke frowned. Then why did he send us here? The leader smiled. Because he knew you would try to save us. Naruto looked at him. What's wrong with that? The leader pointed toward the darkness. Everything. Suddenly, the broken worlds began moving toward Naruto. Thousands of voices filled the dimension. Save me. Save my family. Save my world. Bring back my friends. Naruto felt their pain. He stepped forward. I'll help you. Sasuke immediately grabbed his arm. Naruto, wait. Naruto looked at him. Sasuke pointed toward the worlds. Look carefully. Naruto focused. Every broken reality was connected to another. Saving one would destroy another. Naruto realized the truth. If I save them all, I'll have to choose which realities survive. The Forgotten leader smiled. Exactly. That's what Zero wanted. Naruto clenched his fist. He wants me to become the one who decides which worlds deserve to exist. Sasuke nodded. Then don't choose. Naruto looked at him. What do you mean? Sasuke answered. Give them the same choice you gave every other reality. Quote, Naruto understood. He raised his hand. Golden light spread through the dimension. Every forgotten person became free from their predetermined ending. The world stopped fighting each other. Each reality began creating its own path. The forgotten leader stared at Naruto. You didn't save us. Naruto smiled. No, I gave you the chance to save yourselves. The leader's broken symbol began glowing. His body transformed. He became a young man with golden eyes. Naruto stared. You look like the first Naruto. The young man nodded. I was. What happened to you? I chose a future where Naruto never became a hero. Naruto frowned. Then why are you here? Quote, the young man pointed toward the darkness. Because that future was erased. Sasuke asked. By zero. The young man shook his head. No, by something older. The ocean of failed realities suddenly became silent. A massive black door appeared. The young man stepped backward. We should leave. Naruto looked at the door. What's behind it? The young man whispered. The first failure. Sasuke's expression changed. The first failed reality. The young man nodded. The world where the first Naruto made the wrong choice. Naruto stepped toward the door. Then that's where Zero came from. The young man shook his head. No, Zero came from that world. But he wasn't the worst thing created there. Naruto stopped. A deep heartbeat echoed behind the door. Boom, boom, boom. The door slowly opened. A giant shadow appeared. Naruto recognized the face immediately. It was Naruto, but this version had completely black eyes. Sasuke raised his sword. Another Naruto. The young man whispered. No, this is the first Naruto who chose destruction. Quote, the black-eyed Naruto smiled. You finally came. Naruto stared at him. Who are you? The black-eyed Naruto answered. I am the reason Zero was created. The entire dimension began collapsing. And Naruto realized that the true enemy had been waiting here since the very first choice. The first Naruto who chose destruction. The black-eyed Naruto stepped through the doorway. Every failed reality began trembling. Naruto stared at him. You are the first Naruto who chose destruction. The dark Naruto smiled. Yes. Sasuke raised his sword. Why did you destroy your world? The dark Naruto looked at him. Because I tried to save it. Quote, Naruto frowned. That's not possible. It is. The dark Naruto walked forward. My world was suffering. War, hatred, death. I wanted to end everything. Naruto asked. So you became the enemy. Quote, the dark Naruto nodded. I removed every source of pain. I erased hatred. I erased conflict. I erased choice. Naruto's expression became serious. You became the same thing we fought before. Quote, the dark Naruto laughed. No, I became worse. He raised his hand. The entire dimension suddenly changed. Naruto saw thousands of versions of himself. Every one had made a different mistake. Some became villains. Some became rulers. Some abandoned their friends. Some destroyed their own worlds. The dark Naruto pointed toward them. I learned something. Naruto asked. What? Every Naruto eventually faces the same choice. Quote, protect everyone, or protect their freedom. Naruto shook his head. You don't have to choose between them. The dark Naruto smiled. That's what you believe. He attacked. Naruto blocked the first strike. The impact sent him flying. Sasuke rushed forward. The dark Naruto caught his sword. You are always there. Sasuke frowned. What? You are always the one who pulls Naruto back. The dark Naruto threw Sasuke aside. Naruto rushed toward him. Don't touch him. Their fists collided. The dimension shattered around them. Naruto entered Sage mode. The dark Naruto's chakra became completely black. Naruto created thousands of clones. The dark Naruto created thousands of his own. The battlefield filled with Naruto against Naruto. Every version fought another version. Sasuke tried to reach the real Naruto. Naruto heard him. He stopped fighting. The dark Naruto attacked. Naruto didn't move. The punch stopped inches from his face. The dark Naruto looked confused. Why didn't you defend yourself? Naruto answered. Because I know what you're trying to make me do. Quote, what? You're trying to make me hate you. The dark Naruto became silent. Naruto continued. You want me to destroy you. Then you can prove that your belief was right. The dark Naruto's eyes narrowed. Naruto stepped closer. But I won't. Why? Because I know what happens when someone believes they're the only one who can decide what's right. The dark Naruto suddenly remembered his own world. His family. His village. The people he failed to save. For the first time, tears appeared in his eyes. I couldn't save them. Naruto replied. Neither could I. The dark Naruto stared at him. But you kept going. Quote. Naruto nodded. Because they would have wanted me to. The dark Naruto lowered his head. I don't know how to stop. Naruto extended his hand. Then start with one choice. The dark Naruto looked at his hand. What choice? Naruto smiled. Don't attack. The dark Naruto slowly lowered his fist. The black chakra disappeared. The failed realities stopped collapsing. Sasuke walked toward them. Is it over? Quote. Naruto nodded. I think so. But suddenly, the dark Naruto looked terrified. No. Naruto turned. What? The dark Naruto pointed toward the sky. I wasn't the one controlling this place. A black symbol appeared above them. The same symbol that had appeared when the origin first awakened. The dark Naruto whispered. Something else has been using every failed reality. The symbol opened like an eye. A voice echoed. Thank you for finding the first failure. Quote. Naruto raised his guard. Who are you? The voice answered. The one who created Zero. Sasuke looked at Naruto. The black symbol grew larger. Then a massive figure stepped through. It had no face, only a glowing white heart in its chest. The dark Naruto fell to his knees. Impossible. Naruto asked. Who is that? The dark Naruto whispered. The first fear. The figure looked directly at Naruto. And spoke. I existed before the first Naruto ever learned what fear was. The first fear. The entire dimension became silent. The first fear stood before Naruto. Its white heart glowed in the darkness. Naruto looked at it. What are you? The first fear answered. I am the feeling that existed before the first choice. Sasuke tightened his grip. Fear. The first fear nodded. Before anyone could choose, they first had to fear the consequences. Quote. Naruto frowned. So you were always part of every reality. Yes. I watched every Naruto, every victory, every failure, every decision made because someone was afraid. Naruto stepped forward. Then why create Zero? The first fear looked toward the dark Naruto. Because I needed someone who would prove that fear was stronger than freedom. The dark Naruto looked up. You used me. The first fear replied. Yes. The dark Naruto clenched his fists. I destroyed everything because of you. You destroyed everything because you were afraid. The dark Naruto became silent. Naruto looked at him. Don't listen to it. Quote. The first fear turned toward Naruto. And you? Naruto raised his guard. What about me? You are the most interesting of them all. Why? Because you have been afraid more times than anyone. Quote. Naruto remembered his childhood. Being alone. Being rejected. Losing Jiraiya. Almost losing Sasuke. Fearing for his family. The first fear continued. But every time fear told you to stop, you chose to continue. Quote. Naruto smiled. Exactly. The first fear's white heart began glowing brighter. Then let me show you your greatest fear. The world changed. Naruto suddenly stood in Konoha. Everything looked peaceful. His family was there. Minato, Kushina, Jiraiya, Sasuke, Hinata, Boruto. Everyone he had ever loved was alive. Naruto stared in disbelief. Kushina hugged him. Naruto. He closed his eyes. For a moment, he wanted to stay. Then something felt wrong. Naruto looked around. Where is everyone else? Kushina smiled. Everyone you love is here. Naruto understood. This isn't real. The first fear appeared behind him. You could stay. You could have everything. No more death. No more pain. No more loss. Naruto looked at his family. Tears filled his eyes. That's my greatest fear. The first fear smiled. Losing them. Naruto shook his head. No, you got it wrong. He looked at his family one final time. My greatest fear is living in a world where their choices aren't their own. The illusion began cracking. The first fear stepped backward. What? Naruto raised his hand. I would rather lose someone I love than control their life. The entire illusion shattered. Sasuke appeared beside Naruto. You figured it out. Quote. Naruto nodded. Fear only wins when we let it make our choices. The first fear's white heart cracked. No. The dark Naruto stepped forward. I know that feeling. The first fear looked at him. You cannot defeat me. The dark Naruto smiled. Maybe not, but I don't have to. He turned toward Naruto. Thank you. Naruto smiled. The dark Naruto disappeared into golden light. His remaining energy entered the world tree. The first fear screamed. Every failed reality began transforming. Worlds that had once been destroyed began rebuilding. The first fear's body started disappearing. But before it vanished, it whispered. You defeated fear. Naruto looked at it. No, I learned to live with it. The first fear disappeared. Silence returned. Sasuke looked at Naruto. Is it finally over? Naruto smiled. I hope so. Quote. Suddenly, the golden heart that remained in the darkness began beating. Boom, boom, boom. A tiny crack appeared inside it. Era's voice echoed from far away. Naruto. Naruto looked toward the sound. Era appeared through a portal, terrified. We have a problem. Naruto sighed. What now? Era pointed at the golden heart. The first fear wasn't the final enemy. Naruto stared. Then what was it? Quote. Era whispered. The heart was protecting something. The crack opened. A tiny black hand emerged. And a child's voice whispered. I am the first thought. The first thought. The tiny black hand emerged from the golden heart. Everyone stood still. Naruto stared at the childlike figure. What are you? The figure slowly stepped out. It was a small boy with black hair and completely silver eyes. I am the first thought. Sasuke asked. Before the first choice. The boy nodded. Before choice. Before fear. Before creation. Naruto frowned. Then what existed before you? The boy smiled. Nothing. The entire dimension became silent. The boy continued. I was the first thing that happened when nothing became something. Naruto asked. What was your first thought? The boy looked directly at Naruto. You. Naruto froze. Me. The first thought nodded. I imagined a person who could choose. That thought became the first Naruto. Naruto stared at him. Then every Naruto came from you. Yes. Sasuke asked. And the first Sasuke. Quote. The boy smiled. I imagined someone who would challenge him. Sasuke sighed. So we're all your ideas. The boy shook his head. At first. But then you became real. Naruto stepped forward. Then why are you attacking us? The boy looked confused. I'm not. Era frowned. Then what is happening? The first thought pointed toward the darkness. Someone else is using my thoughts. A massive black shadow appeared behind him. The first thought immediately stepped backward. I was afraid this would happen. Naruto raised his guard. Who is that? The first thought whispered. The first lie. The shadow slowly took shape. It looked like Naruto, then Sasuke, then Era, then every person they had ever met. It had no permanent form. The first thought continued. The first lie existed when the first thought became afraid of being wrong. Quote. Naruto asked. What does it do? It convinces people that their choices are not their own. The first lie spoke. Because they aren't. Naruto clenched his fist. You're wrong. The lie smiled. Are you sure? It raised its hand. Suddenly, Naruto saw every major decision he had ever made. Becoming a shinobi, saving Sasuke, becoming Hokage, fighting pain, protecting the world. Every decision appeared with a dark thread attached. The lie said, look carefully. Every choice was influenced by someone else. Naruto stared. You had teachers, friends, enemies, family, pain, love, fear. How can you claim any decision was truly yours? Quote. Naruto became silent. Sasuke looked at him. Naruto. Naruto closed his eyes, then smiled. You're right. The lie laughed. Finally, Naruto opened his eyes. Every choice was influenced by something. Quote. But that doesn't mean it wasn't mine. The lie stopped. Naruto continued. I chose what those influences meant to me. I chose whether pain would make me cruel. I chose whether loss would make me give up. Quote. I chose whether power would control me. The first thought smiled. Naruto stepped forward. Nobody can choose for me. The lie began cracking. No. Naruto raised his hand. And nobody can choose for anyone else. Quote. The cracks spread across the lie's body. Sasuke stepped beside Naruto. Then let's finish this. Naruto nodded. Together, they released their chakra. The first thought raised his hands. Golden light surrounded them. The lie screamed. If I disappear, nothing will be certain. Naruto answered. That's okay. We don't need certainty. We need choice. The first lie shattered. The darkness disappeared. The first thought looked at Naruto. You finally understand. Naruto smiled. Understand what? The boy answered. The universe was never created to give you answers. It was created to give you choices. The world tree began glowing. Every reality became stable. For the first time, Naruto felt that the endless battle might truly be over. Then the first thought suddenly looked toward the sky. His smile disappeared. Wait, Naruto asked. What? The boy pointed upward. A single white line appeared across the universe. Then another. Then millions. The first thought whispered. Someone is erasing the choices themselves. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. Far beyond the world tree, a gigantic white hand appeared. It reached toward the universe. And a voice echoed. If choices create chaos, then I will erase choice itself. Quote. The first thought looked terrified. That's the one thing I was never able to defeat. Naruto stepped forward. Who is it? The boy whispered. The end. The end. The gigantic white hand stretched across the universe. Every reality began freezing. People stopped moving. Battles stopped. Even the wind disappeared. Naruto looked around. What is happening? The first thought answered. The end has begun. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. I can't see its chakra. Naruto shook his head. Because it doesn't have chakra. The first thought nodded. The end isn't a person. It is the final state of everything. Naruto looked toward the giant hand. Then why does it want to erase choice? The first thought replied. Because choices create possibilities. Possibilities create stories. And stories eventually create endings. Naruto frowned. So it wants to end everything before anything can happen. Exactly. The white hand moved closer. One by one, realities began disappearing. Ren's world vanished. The forgotten worlds vanished. Even the world tree began losing its branches. Sasuke shouted. We're running out of time. Naruto looked at him. Then we don't fight the end. Sasuke frowned. What? Naruto smiled. We choose something it cannot erase. The first thought looked at him. What? Naruto placed his hand over his heart. Meaning. The first thought's eyes widened. Naruto continued. A person can lose their world. They can lose their memories. They can lose their future. Quote. But what they meant to someone doesn't disappear. Sasuke smiled. Then let's remind every reality. Naruto raised his hand. Golden light spread through the world tree. Every surviving person saw a memory. A mother remembering her child. A friend remembering a promise. A warrior remembering why they fought. A lonely person remembering the first time someone believed in them. The end stopped. The white hand trembled. The first thought whispered. It's working. Naruto shouted across every reality. You don't need to know what tomorrow will bring. You don't need to control the future. You only need to choose what matters now. Quote. Millions of people began making choices. The world tree grew new branches. The frozen realities started moving again. The end became unstable. Its enormous hand began cracking. No. Naruto looked toward it. You can't erase everything. The end answered. Everything ends. Naruto smiled. Yes. But an ending doesn't make the story meaningless. The white hand shattered. A massive wave of light swept across the universe. Then everything became silent. The world tree stopped burning. The first thought looked at Naruto. You defeated the end. Naruto shook his head. No, I accepted it. The first thought smiled. Then he began disappearing. Naruto looked at him. Where are you going? Back to the beginning. Why? Because every ending creates a new thought. The first thought turned into golden light. Before disappearing completely, he said, you were never meant to stop the story. You were meant to keep choosing. The light vanished. Naruto looked at Sasuke. So that's it. Sasuke nodded. Maybe. Quote. Naruto laughed. You learned that word from everyone else. Suddenly, the world tree released one final seed. It floated toward Naruto. Naruto caught it. A single sentence appeared. There is one final world. Quote. Naruto frowned. Sasuke looked at the seed. Where? The seed opened. Inside was a peaceful village. Naruto saw himself. But he was older. He was standing beside Hinata. Boruto was there. Everyone was alive. No wars. No villains. No portals. No cosmic enemies. Just peace. Naruto stared at the vision. That's my perfect world. Sasuke looked at him. Then why are you worried? Naruto pointed toward the center of the village. A child was standing alone. The child had Naruto's face. But unlike every other version, this one had no memories. No destiny. No powers. Only a blank page in his hands. The child looked toward Naruto. And spoke. If you could start your life again, would you choose the same path? Naruto became completely silent. The final choice had arrived. The final choice. Naruto stared at the child. The peaceful village looked exactly like the life he had always wanted. No war. No pain. No loss. Hinata was smiling. Boruto was laughing. Sasuke stood nearby. Everyone was alive. The child held the blank page. If you could start your life again, would you choose the same path? Quote. Naruto looked at the village. For a moment, he wanted to say yes. Then he remembered everything. His lonely childhood. Iruka. Team 7. Jiraiya. Pain. The war. Sasuke. Every mistake. Every loss. Every choice. Naruto smiled. Yes. The child looked surprised. You would choose all the pain again. Naruto nodded. Not because I wanted to suffer. Because those moments made me who I am. The child looked at the blank page. What about the people you lost? Naruto's eyes became emotional. I would still miss them. But I wouldn't erase their stories just to make mine easier. The peaceful world began fading. The child asked, then what do you choose? Naruto answered, I choose the life I already lived. The child smiled. Even though you knew how it would end. Naruto shook his head. I don't know how it ends. Quote. The child looked confused. Naruto pointed toward the blank page. That's the whole point. The page began glowing. Every memory from Naruto's journey appeared on it. But the final page remained empty. Naruto touched it. I don't need to write the ending. Sasuke smiled. Because it's still happening. Naruto nodded. The peaceful world shattered. The world tree disappeared. The endless realities vanished. Naruto suddenly found himself standing in Konoha. The real Konoha. The sun was rising. Sasuke stood beside him. Era was there. Ren was there. The forgotten Narutos were there. Everyone looked normal. No cosmic enemies. No mysterious portals. No ancient beings. Just people. Naruto looked at the sky. So it's finally over. Sasuke replied. Maybe. Naruto laughed. Then a small boy ran toward them. It was Ren. He held the white feather from the first reality. Naruto. Naruto turned. What happened? Ren handed him the feather. It's blank. Naruto looked at it. There were no warnings. No messages. No prophecies. Nothing. Just a completely empty feather. Naruto smiled. Good. Ren asked. Why? Because now nobody is telling us what happens next. Everyone smiled. The world tree appeared in the distance. But this time, it wasn't controlling anything. It simply grew. One branch, then another, then another. Every branch represented a choice. Naruto looked at Sasuke. So, what now? Sasuke looked toward the village. Live. Naruto smiled. Sounds good. They started walking toward Konoha. But before Naruto entered the village, he stopped. He looked back at the endless sky. For a moment, he thought he heard a familiar voice. Keep choosing. Naruto smiled. I will. The sun rose. The village awakened. And the story continued. Not because an author demanded it. Not because destiny predicted it. Not because someone controlled the future. But because Naruto Uzumaki made one final choice. To keep living. The day after the end. Konoha woke up to an ordinary morning. No portals. No strange symbols. No mysterious voices. For the first time in a very long time, Naruto could hear birds instead of alarms. He walked through the village with Sasuke. People smiled at them. Children played in the streets. Shops opened. Everything felt normal, almost too normal. Sasuke looked at Naruto. You seem disappointed. Quote, Naruto laughed. No, I'm just not used to peace lasting this long. Sasuke smiled. Give it a day. Naruto stopped. Don't say that. Suddenly, Boruto ran toward them. Dad. Naruto turned. What's wrong? Boruto pointed toward the Hokage monument. Someone is standing on top. Naruto and Sasuke immediately looked up. A young girl stood on the monument. She had silver hair and a strange golden mark on her forehead. Naruto frowned. I've never seen her before. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. Neither have I. The girl jumped down and landed in front of them. She looked directly at Naruto. You're Naruto Uzumaki. Quote, Naruto nodded. Who are you? The girl smiled. My name is Mira. Boruto asked. Are you a shinobi? Mira shook her head. No. Sasuke became serious. Then why are you here? Mira looked toward the sky. Because your story ended. Naruto frowned. My story didn't end. Mira smiled. That's what I came to tell you. She opened her hand. A tiny black seed appeared. Naruto's expression changed. Where did you get that? Quote, Mira answered. From the world that came after yours. Sasuke stepped forward. Another reality. Mira shook her head. Something different. Naruto looked at the seed. What? A world that exists outside the world tree. Quote, Naruto became silent. He thought everything beyond the tree had been destroyed. Mira continued. That world doesn't have Naruto. Naruto frowned. Then why are you here? Mira looked directly into his eyes. Because it has something more dangerous. What? Mira closed her hand around the seed. A version of you that never chose. Naruto's expression changed. Sasuke asked. How is that possible? Mira answered. Because when you made your final choice, another possibility remained. Naruto stared at her. What possibility? Mira whispered. The Naruto who refused to choose. The black seed suddenly cracked. A cold wind swept through Konoha. Naruto's chakra reacted immediately. Sasuke drew his sword. The seed opened. Inside it was a single eye. Naruto recognized it. It was his own eye. Mira looked terrified. It's awake. Naruto stepped forward. What is it? Mira answered. The Unchosen. The eye opened completely. Every shadow in Konoha turned toward Naruto. Then a voice echoed across the village. You chose your life. I chose nothing. Naruto clenched his fist. The voice continued. And now I want everything you have. The sky darkened. A figure began forming above Konoha. It had Naruto's face. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. Looks like peace lasted exactly one day. Naruto smiled. Then let's make tomorrow better. The figure descended. And the next battle began. The Unchosen. The figure descended over Konoha. It looked exactly like Naruto. Same face. Same hair. Same whisker marks. But its eyes were completely empty. Naruto stared at it. So you're the Unchosen. The Unchosen nodded. I am everything you could have been. Sasuke stepped forward. Then why attack Konoha? The Unchosen looked at Naruto. Because you received everything I never had. Naruto frowned. What did I have that you didn't? Quote, the Unchosen answered. A choice. The village became silent. The Unchosen raised his hand. Every person in Konoha froze. Naruto rushed toward him, but before he could attack, his body stopped. The Unchosen smiled. You made millions of choices. Every choice created a version of you. I am the version that never chose. Naruto struggled against the invisible force. Then choose now. The Unchosen looked confused. Choose what? Anything. The Unchosen remained silent. Naruto continued. You don't have to be me. You don't have to become a hero. You don't have to become a villain. Quote, you can choose your own path. The Unchosen's expression changed. I can't. Why? Because I was created without one. Naruto smiled. Then that's your first choice. The invisible force disappeared. Naruto dropped to the ground. Sasuke rushed beside him. You okay? Naruto nodded. The Unchosen looked at his own hands. For the first time, they were shaking. Mira stepped forward. He's changing. Quote, the black seed on the ground began glowing. The Unchosen looked at it. What is that? Mira answered, your beginning. The Unchosen touched the seed. Suddenly, thousands of memories entered his mind. He saw every Naruto, every path, every mistake, every victory. He saw Naruto's childhood. He saw Sasuke. He saw the people Naruto loved. He saw the battles. Then he saw the final choice. The Unchosen looked at Naruto. You accepted your past. Naruto nodded. And you accepted your future. Yes. The Unchosen lowered his head. I have neither. Naruto walked toward him. Then make one. The Unchosen looked up. Can I? Naruto smiled. Yes. The Unchosen closed his eyes. The black seed transformed into a golden seed. His empty eyes gained a small spark of light. He whispered, I choose to exist. The entire village shook. The sky cleared. The Unchosen's appearance changed. He no longer looked exactly like Naruto. His hair became darker. His eyes became silver. The whisker marks disappeared. Mira smiled. He finally has his own identity. Quote, Naruto looked at him. Do you have a name? The young man thought for a moment. Then smiled. Call me Kai. Naruto nodded. Kai. Suddenly, Sasuke looked toward the horizon. Something is coming. Quote, a huge shadow appeared beyond the village. Kai's expression changed. I know that energy. Naruto asked. What is it? Kai answered. The place I came from. Mira stepped forward. The world outside the world tree. Quote, Naruto looked at the shadow. Why is it coming here? Kai shook his head. It isn't coming here. He looked terrified. It's bringing the entire world with it. The horizon began splitting apart. A massive city appeared in the sky. Millions of unknown people watched Konoha from above. Then a voice echoed across the village. Return the Unchosen. Naruto stepped forward. No. The voice answered. He belongs to us. Naruto clenched his fist. He belongs to himself. The sky exploded with light. An army began descending. Kai looked at Naruto. Why are you helping me? Naruto smiled. Because someone once helped me when I was alone. Quote, Kai looked toward the army. Then let's fight. Naruto nodded. Together, and above Konoha, a new war began. But this time, Naruto wasn't fighting for the future. He was fighting for someone who had never been given one. The Naruto who started everything. The ancient Naruto stood above Konoha. His golden mark glowed across his forehead. Naruto stared at him. You're the one who created the Unchosen. The ancient Naruto nodded. Yes. Sasuke raised his sword. Then you're responsible for everything. The ancient Naruto looked at him. Not everything. Only the beginning. Naruto stepped forward. Why did you create the Unchosen? Quote, the ancient Naruto answered. To answer one question. What question? Is freedom still freedom when you know what your choices will cost? Naruto became silent. The ancient Naruto continued. I created thousands of possibilities. I watched them grow. I watched them fail. I watched them become heroes. I watched them become monsters. And eventually I created the Unchosen. Naruto looked at the Unchosen. Because you wanted to see what happened when someone refused to choose. The ancient Naruto smiled. Exactly. Sasuke frowned. You treated entire realities like experiments. The ancient Naruto looked at him. Someone had to. Naruto's expression hardened. No, nobody has to control everyone else's story. The ancient Naruto suddenly disappeared. He appeared directly in front of Naruto. You still don't understand. Quote, I am not controlling your story. I am testing it. Naruto blocked his attack. The impact sent both of them across Konoha. Naruto landed on the ground. The ancient Naruto stood untouched. Sasuke attacked from behind. The ancient Naruto caught his sword. You are still the protector. Sasuke pulled his sword back. And you're still afraid of what happens when people choose. The ancient Naruto's expression changed. For the first time, he looked angry. Don't call me afraid, Sasuke replied. Then prove it. The ancient Naruto released his grip. A massive golden chakra exploded from his body. Naruto activated Sage Mode. The two Naruto charged. Their fists collided. The shockwave reached every corner of the village. Boruto watched from a distance. Dad is fighting another version of himself. Mira answered. Not another version. Quote, the first version. Naruto and the ancient Naruto continued fighting. Every attack created another possible future. Naruto saw himself becoming Hokage. Then a villain. Then a father. Then a stranger. The ancient Naruto shouted, look, this is what freedom creates. Naruto blocked a massive Rasengan. Yes, many possibilities. The ancient Naruto attacked again. Then choose. Naruto stopped. The ancient Naruto froze. Naruto smiled. I already did. He looked toward Konoha. I chose my friends. Then toward Sasuke. I chose my family. Then toward the unchosen. And now I choose to give you a choice too. Quote, the ancient Naruto's eyes widened. You cannot. Naruto extended his hand. Yes, I can. The unchosen slowly stood. The ancient Naruto turned toward him. You were never supposed to exist. The unchosen answered. Neither was freedom. Naruto smiled. The unchosen grabbed the ancient Naruto's arm. Golden light spread across both of them. The ancient Naruto screamed. Every memory of every reality entered his mind. He saw every life, every death, every friendship, every choice. For the first time, he understood what his experiment had actually created. Not chaos. Life. The ancient Naruto lowered his head. I was wrong. Naruto stepped forward. What will you do now? The ancient Naruto looked toward the sunrise. I don't know. Naruto smiled. Good. The ancient Naruto laughed quietly. Good. Yes. Quote, because for the first time, you don't have an answer. The ancient Naruto nodded. And that means I finally have a choice. His golden mark disappeared. The unchosen began glowing. Instead of disappearing, he became a normal human. Mira smiled. He's free. Sasuke looked at Naruto. So is he. Naruto nodded. But suddenly, the ancient Naruto looked toward the sky. His expression became serious. There is one thing you still don't know. Quote, Naruto frowned. What? The ancient Naruto pointed toward the horizon. Every experiment needs an observer. A huge eye opened in the sky. Naruto's smile disappeared. The ancient Naruto whispered, and the observer has been watching us from the beginning. The eye looked directly at Naruto. Then a voice echoed across every reality. Experiment complete. The entire world froze, and the observer finally stepped out of the shadows. The observer. The entire world froze. Birds stopped in the air. Water stopped flowing. Even the wind disappeared. Only Naruto, Sasuke, Mira, the unchosen, and the ancient Naruto could still move. The giant eye in the sky slowly closed. A figure descended from it. It wore a white cloak. Its face was hidden behind a smooth mask. Naruto stepped forward. Are you the observer? The figure nodded. I have watched every choice. Every reality. Quote, every Naruto. Every Sasuke. Sasuke raised his sword. Then why were you watching? The observer answered. Because I needed to know whether freedom could survive. Naruto frowned. And, the observer looked at him. Now I know. Freedom survives when someone is willing to accept its consequences. Naruto lowered his guard. Then let everyone go. The observer shook its head. Not yet. Quote, Mira stepped forward. What else do you want? The observer pointed toward the ancient Naruto. Him. The ancient Naruto looked surprised. Me. You were the beginning of the experiment. You must also be its ending. Quote, Naruto immediately stepped between them. No. The observer tilted its head. You would sacrifice yourself for him. Naruto answered. No, I won't sacrifice anyone. The observer's mask began glowing. Then prove it. A massive portal opened. Inside were millions of realities. Every reality showed a different version of Naruto. The observer spoke. Choose one. Naruto stared. One reality will survive. Quote, the others will disappear. Sasuke looked at Naruto. Don't choose. Naruto nodded. The observer smiled. Then all of them will disappear. The ancient Naruto stepped forward. This is my fault. Quote, Naruto stopped him. No. The ancient Naruto looked at him. Naruto continued. Your mistake doesn't belong to everyone else. The unchosen stepped forward. I have an idea. Everyone looked at him. He pointed toward the world tree. The observer controls the realities because it stands outside them. Naruto understood. So we bring it inside. Sasuke smiled. Exactly. The observer suddenly attacked. Naruto and Sasuke moved together. Mira opened a portal. The Unchosen released every possibility inside himself. The ancient Naruto connected his chakra to the world tree. The observer tried to escape. But Naruto grabbed its arm. You wanted to watch our choices. The observer struggled. What are you doing? Naruto smiled. Making you part of one. The world tree erupted with golden light. The observer was pulled inside. Its white mask shattered. For the first time, everyone saw its face. It looked like an ordinary human. A man. An old man with tired eyes. He looked at Naruto. I was afraid. Naruto nodded. Of what? Quote, that if people had complete freedom, they would destroy everything. Naruto replied. Sometimes they will. The observer looked surprised. Naruto continued. But sometimes they'll save each other. Quote, Sasuke added. And nobody gets to decide which one happens beforehand. The observer lowered his head. I understand. The world tree became calm. The frozen world began moving again. People continued their lives without ever knowing how close their reality had come to ending. The observer disappeared into the tree. Not as a ruler, not as a creator, just another person. Naruto looked toward the sky. It really is over now. Sasuke smiled. Don't say that. Naruto laughed. Why? Every time you say it, something happens. Everyone laughed. Mira suddenly looked at the blank feather. A tiny word appeared on it. Home. Naruto looked at the village. Konoha. His family. His friends. His people. He smiled. Yeah, let's go home. They began walking toward Konoha. But far beyond the world tree, in a place no one could see, one final spark remained. A tiny golden spark. It slowly formed into a familiar symbol. The symbol of a leaf. And beneath it appeared a message. Every story ends. Then another line appeared. But legends never do. The legend continues. The morning sun rose over Konoha. Naruto stood on the Hokage monument, looking at the village below. For the first time, he felt completely calm. No prophecy. No ancient enemy. No mysterious voice. Just home. Sasuke stood beside him. You really think it's over? Naruto smiled. I think the battles are over. Sasuke looked at him. And the story? Naruto looked toward the village. That never ends. Suddenly, Boruto ran up the monument. Dad. Naruto turned. What happened? Boruto held up a small golden leaf. I found this near the village gate. Naruto took it. The moment he touched it, a vision appeared. A completely new world. No Naruto. No Sasuke. No Shinobi. Instead, there were people living peacefully among floating cities. Naruto looked surprised. What is this? The first possibility appeared beside him. A future reality. Quote, Sasuke asked. Created by whom? The first possibility smiled. By the people who lived in it. Naruto looked at the vision. So they created their own world. Yes. The vision suddenly changed. A young girl appeared. She had golden eyes. She looked directly toward Naruto. Then she said, thank you. Naruto froze. Why is she thanking me? The first possibility answered. Because your choices made their world possible. Quote, Naruto smiled. He finally understood. The battles they had fought were not only about surviving. They had created possibilities for people they would never meet. Sasuke looked at Naruto. So all of this mattered. Quote, Naruto nodded. Every bit of it. The golden leaf disappeared. Boruto looked confused. What was that? Naruto smiled. Just a reminder. Of what? Naruto looked toward the sunrise. That what we do today can change someone's tomorrow. Quote, Boruto smiled. Then a loud voice came from below. Naruto. Naruto looked down. It was Sakura. She shouted. Stop standing on the monument and come to the office. Naruto sighed. Sasuke laughed. Some things never change. Naruto jumped down. Coming. He landed beside his friends. Konoha continued its ordinary morning. Children trained. Shinobi returned from missions. Families gathered. People laughed. Life continued. And somewhere beyond the world tree, the new reality kept growing. The young girl with golden eyes looked at the sky. She smiled. Then she made her first choice. Not because someone told her to. Not because destiny demanded it. But because she wanted to. And far away, Naruto felt a strange warmth in his heart. He smiled. The story was no longer his alone. It belonged to every person who chose their own path. The end. But every new choice creates another beginning. The world that chose Naruto. 3 years had passed since the final battle. Konoha had changed. The village was more peaceful than ever. Naruto was still Hokage, but his days were no longer filled with battles between realities. He spent his mornings training young shinobi. His afternoons were filled with paperwork. And every evening, he returned home to his family. Everything seemed perfect. Until one morning, Naruto received a strange report. A messenger entered the Hokage office. Lord 7th, we found something outside the village. Naruto looked up. What? The messenger placed a small crystal on the desk. The crystal was glowing. Sasuke entered the room. He immediately recognized it. That's not chakra. Naruto touched it. A voice came from inside. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto froze. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. Who are you? Quote. The voice answered. We are the world that chose you. The crystal shattered. A portal opened inside the Hokage office. Beyond it was a strange city floating above an endless ocean. Naruto stared. I've never seen this world. Sasuke nodded. Neither have I. A young girl stepped through the portal. It was the same girl Naruto had seen in the golden vision. Golden eyes, silver hair, and the mysterious leaf symbol on her hand. She looked at Naruto. My name is Era. Naruto smiled. We've met before. Era shook her head. No, this is our first meeting. Naruto frowned. Then why did I see you? Era answered. Because our world was created from one of your choices. Quote. Naruto looked at Sasuke. What choice? Era lowered her head. The choice to protect freedom. She looked toward the portal. Our world was dying. We had no future. Then the world tree gave us a choice. Quote. We could follow a predetermined path. Or create our own. Naruto smiled. You chose freedom. Era nodded. But something went wrong. Sasuke immediately became serious. What? Era looked frightened. Our world created something that should not exist. Naruto stepped closer. What did it create? Era looked directly into his eyes. A Naruto. Naruto froze. Sasuke asked. Another version. Era shook her head. Not another version. The first Naruto born from someone else's choice. Naruto frowned. Who chose him? Era answered. The people of our world. Suddenly, the portal behind her began shaking. A deep voice echoed from the other side. I am not your Naruto. I am the Naruto you created. Naruto's expression changed. Era stepped backward. He has been searching for you. The portal expanded. A figure walked through. He looked exactly like Naruto. But his clothes were completely white. His eyes were golden, and on his chest was the symbol of the world tree. Naruto stared at him. Why are you here? Quote. The new Naruto smiled. Because I have one question. What? The new Naruto looked at Naruto. If your choices created my world, who gave you the right to decide what happens to mine? Naruto became silent. Sasuke slowly reached for his sword. But Naruto stopped him. No. Sasuke looked at him. Naruto stepped forward. This isn't a battle. The new Naruto smiled. Then answer me. Naruto looked into his eyes. And realized this was the hardest question he had ever faced. Not about power. Not about destiny. Not about survival. It was about whether his own choices had become someone else's destiny. Naruto took a deep breath. Then answered. I don't know. The new Naruto smiled. Good. Then you're finally ready to see my world. The portal opened completely. Naruto stepped forward. Sasuke followed. And behind them, the door to another universe closed. A new story had begun. The world beyond Konoha. Naruto stepped through the portal. The moment he entered, he stopped. A massive city floated above an endless ocean. Buildings made of crystal reached into the sky. Bridges of light connected floating islands. There were no shinobi, no villages, no Hokage. This world had created its own civilization. Sasuke looked around. They really built all this themselves. Quote, Era nodded. After the World Tree gave us freedom, everyone began creating their own future. Naruto smiled. It's beautiful. The white-clothed Naruto walked ahead. But it's not peaceful. Naruto looked at him. What happened? The white Naruto pointed toward the horizon. A gigantic black tower stood in the center of the city. That appeared 6 months ago. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. I can feel something inside. Quote, Era nodded. We call it the Choice Tower. Naruto frowned. Why? Because everyone who enters it must make a choice. And what happens? Era looked away. They disappear. Naruto's expression changed. How many? Thousands. Sasuke asked. Why hasn't anyone destroyed it? Era answered. Because nobody can enter without being forced to choose. Naruto looked at the tower. Then I'll enter. The white Naruto grabbed his arm. Don't. Naruto looked at him. You asked me to come here. Yes, but I never said I wanted you to enter the tower. Naruto smiled. You're worried about me. The white Naruto looked away. I'm worried about what you'll find. Naruto walked toward the tower. Sasuke followed. Era stayed behind. Inside, the tower was completely empty. A single door stood at the end. Naruto opened it. He suddenly found himself standing in Konoha. But something was different. There was no Hokage Tower. No Naruto. No Sasuke. The village was peaceful. A young boy walked through the streets. Naruto recognized him. It was himself. But this Naruto had never experienced pain. He had never been rejected. He had never lost anyone. He was happy. Naruto watched silently. A voice echoed. This is the life you could have had. Quote, Naruto looked around. Who are you? The voice answered. The Choice Tower. Naruto frowned. What do you want? I want you to choose. Choose what? Your real life. The scene changed. Naruto saw his childhood, his loneliness, his battles, his losses. Then the peaceful version appeared again. The voice asked, which Naruto deserves to exist? Naruto looked at both versions. He didn't answer. The voice repeated, choose. Naruto finally smiled. I won't. The tower shook. You must choose. Naruto replied. That's the trick. The voice became silent. Naruto continued. If I choose one, I'm saying the other shouldn't exist. Quote, I won't do that. The peaceful Naruto looked toward him. For the first time, the two versions could see each other. The peaceful Naruto smiled. Then what happens to us? Naruto answered. We both live. Quote, the tower began cracking. The voice screamed. That choice is impossible. Naruto shouted. Then changed the rules. The entire tower exploded with light. Outside, Sasuke saw the tower shaking. The white Naruto stared upward. No. Era asked. What happened? The white Naruto answered. He broke the Choice Tower. The tower collapsed. Thousands of trapped people appeared across the city. But the white Naruto wasn't smiling. He looked toward the sky. A black crack had opened above the city. Era whispered. The tower wasn't the real problem. Sasuke looked at her. Then what was? The white Naruto answered. The tower was keeping something out. The black crack widened. A massive eye appeared. Naruto walked out of the ruins. He looked at the sky. Then he recognized the eye. It was the same eye that had watched them from the beginning. Naruto whispered. The observer. But this time, the observer wasn't watching. It was afraid. The observer's fear. The giant eye remained above the floating city. But this time, it wasn't calm. It was trembling. Naruto looked upward. You were supposed to be inside the World Tree. The observer answered. I was. Sasuke stepped forward. Then why are you here? Quote, the eye moved toward the Choice Tower. Because you broke the seal. Naruto frowned. What seal? The observer remained silent. The white Naruto stepped forward. Tell him. The observer finally spoke. The Choice Tower wasn't created to control choices. Naruto looked at the destroyed tower. Then what was it for? To hide a choice that should never have been made. Era's expression changed. What choice? Quote, the observer looked directly at Naruto. Your choice. Naruto froze. My choice. The observer continued. When you defeated the end, you chose to continue living. That decision created a final possibility. Quote, Naruto asked. Which was? The observer answered. A reality where Naruto never ends. Sasuke frowned. What does that mean? The observer's eye began glowing. It means every time Naruto makes a choice, another version of Naruto is created. Quote, Naruto looked around. The city began filling with golden cracks. How many versions? The observer replied. Until now, countless. The white Naruto looked terrified. Then who are we? The observer answered. Fragments of one endless possibility. Naruto clenched his fist. No, the observer continued. You thought you were creating new realities. But every reality was creating another Naruto. Era looked toward the sky. Then the world tree isn't growing worlds. It's growing Narutos. Suddenly, thousands of portals opened above the city. Naruto saw them. One Naruto wearing black armor. One Naruto with silver hair. One Naruto with no whisker marks. One Naruto with the Sharingan. One Naruto who looked like a child. One Naruto who looked ancient. Then thousands more. Sasuke stared. There are too many. The white Naruto whispered. They're coming here. Naruto stepped forward. Why? The observer answered. Because they all believe you stole their future. The portals opened completely. Thousands of Naruto descended toward the city. One of them landed directly in front of the original Naruto. He looked exactly like him, but his eyes were completely red. You are the original. Naruto nodded. What do you want? The red-eyed Naruto replied. Your life. Sasuke drew his sword. Naruto stopped him. Wait. The red-eyed Naruto continued. Every time you chose, another Naruto lost that future. You kept the life. We kept the consequences. Quote, Naruto looked at the countless versions. For the first time, he didn't know what to say. Then the white Naruto stepped beside him. You're wrong. The red-eyed Naruto looked at him. Why? Because Naruto didn't take your lives. Quote, he created them. The red-eyed Naruto laughed. Then he should take responsibility for them. Naruto slowly raised his head. He looked at every version of himself. Then he said, you're right. Quote, Sasuke looked at him. Naruto. Naruto continued. I can't erase you. I can't control you. And I won't ask you to follow my path. He stepped forward. But I can give you something. The red-eyed Naruto asked. What? Naruto smiled. The same thing I fought for. Choice. The countless Narutos became silent. Naruto raised his hand. The world tree appeared behind him. Every branch began glowing. Choose your own world. Quote, choose your own name. Choose your own future. The red-eyed Naruto stared at him. And what will you do? Naruto looked toward the horizon. I'll stay here. Why? Because someone has to make sure nobody is forced to choose alone. Quote, the observer's eye suddenly widened. No. Naruto turned. What? The observer whispered. That choice creates the final reality. The entire sky turned white. Every Naruto disappeared. The city vanished. Sasuke disappeared. Era disappeared. Only Naruto remained. He stood in complete silence. Then a child's voice came from behind him. You finally made the choice I was waiting for. Naruto turned. A small child stood there. The child had no face. No chakra. No shadow. Naruto asked, who are you? The child answered, I am the last Naruto. And for the first time, Naruto realized that the journey had not been about finding the beginning. It had been leading toward the final version of himself. The last Naruto. Naruto stood alone in the white void. The child stood a few steps away. No face, no chakra, no shadow, only a small golden leaf in his hand. Naruto looked at him. You're the last Naruto. The child nodded. Yes. Why don't you have a face? Because I haven't chosen who I am. Naruto slowly understood. You are the final possibility. Quote, the child nodded again. Every Naruto before me made a choice. Some chose friendship. Some chose power. Some chose peace. Some chose destruction. And you, I haven't chosen anything. Quote, Naruto stepped closer. Then what do you want? The child looked at him. I want you to choose for me. Naruto immediately shook his head. No. The child looked confused. Why? Because if I choose for you, then you're not free. Quote, the child lowered his head. Then what am I supposed to do? Naruto smiled. Make your first choice. Suddenly, the white void began filling with images. Konoha, the world tree, Sasuke, Hinata, Boruto, Era, the Unchosen, the countless Narutos. Every person Naruto had met appeared before the child. The child looked frightened. There are too many choices. Naruto nodded. That's normal. Quote, how did you choose? Naruto smiled. I didn't always know. Sometimes I made mistakes. Sometimes I regretted my decisions. But I kept moving. The child looked at him. What if I choose wrong? Quote, Naruto answered. Then choose again. The white void began cracking. A familiar voice echoed. That is not allowed. Naruto turned. The observer appeared. Behind him stood Zero, the first fear, and the ancient Naruto. But they were no longer enemies. They were memories. The observer spoke. The final Naruto must make the perfect choice. Naruto frowned. There is no perfect choice. Then reality will remain unstable. Quote, Naruto looked at the child. Let it be unstable. The observer froze. Naruto continued. Life isn't perfect. People aren't perfect. Choices aren't perfect. That's what makes them real. The child slowly raised his head. What should I choose? Naruto smiled. Choose something that matters to you. The child looked at the golden leaf. He thought for a long time. Then he spoke. I choose to become someone who helps others make their own choices. Quote, the entire void exploded with golden light. The world tree appeared. But this time, there were no predetermined branches. Every branch grew in a different direction. Every reality became independent. The observer disappeared. Zero disappeared. The first fear disappeared. The ancient Naruto disappeared. Only Naruto and the child remained. The child finally had a face. It looked like Naruto, but his smile was different. Naruto laughed. Looks like you found yourself. The child smiled. I think so. Naruto looked around. Then what happens now? The child pointed toward a new portal. Your world is waiting. Naruto stepped toward it. Before leaving, he looked back. What's your name? The child thought for a moment. Then smiled. I'll choose it when I get there. Naruto laughed. Fair enough. He entered the portal. Suddenly, Konoha appeared. Sasuke was standing at the village gate. Naruto looked around. How long was I gone? Sasuke replied. 5 minutes. Naruto stared at him. 5 minutes. Sasuke nodded. Naruto laughed. After everything we just went through, it was only 5 minutes. Quote, Sasuke smiled. That's reality for you. Naruto looked toward the sky. The world tree was gone. No cosmic doors. No mysterious eyes. No ancient enemies. Just a clear blue sky. Then a tiny golden leaf floated down and landed in Naruto's hand. A message appeared. Your story is yours. Naruto smiled. He closed his hand around the leaf. And walked home. For the first time, he wasn't walking toward another battle. He was simply walking toward tomorrow. And somewhere beyond the stars, the last Naruto made his first choice. A new story had begun. The first day of the last Naruto. Naruto returned to Konoha. Everything looked normal, but somewhere beyond the stars, the last Naruto opened his eyes. He was standing in a completely new world. There was no village, no shinobi, no Hokage, no history. The ground was covered with golden grass, and 3 moons hung in the sky. The last Naruto looked at his hands. So this is my world. A voice answered behind him. Yes. He turned. A young girl stood there. She had blue hair and silver eyes. Who are you? My name is Yuna. She pointed toward the horizon. You're the person we've been waiting for. The last Naruto frowned. Why? Yuna looked toward the 3 moons. Because our world is dying. He became serious. What happened? Yuna explained. Long ago, our ancestors were given unlimited choices. They created thousands of possible futures. But every future demanded energy. The more choices people made, the weaker our world became. The last Naruto looked at the sky. Then why didn't they stop? Yuna shook her head. They couldn't. Every time someone tried to remove a choice, another reality disappeared. He remembered Naruto's words. Choose again. He looked at Yuna. What do you want me to do? Yuna pointed toward a massive mountain. At the top is the choice core. It controls every possible future in this world. The last Naruto asked, "Who controls it?" Yuna's expression changed. "Nobody. That's the problem." The last Naruto understood. Then the core is making choices by itself. Yuna nodded. It chooses the future that keeps the world alive. Quote, "And every time it does, someone loses their freedom." The last Naruto looked toward the mountain. "Then I'll go there." Yuna followed him. They began climbing. But halfway up the mountain, the sky suddenly turned black. A massive voice echoed across the world. "The final choice has been detected." Yuna froze. What was that? The last Naruto looked upward. "I don't know." A giant eye appeared between the three moons. It looked exactly like the observer. But this time, it was red. The eye spoke. "You were created to end the cycle." The last Naruto clenched his fist. "I wasn't created for anything." The eye became angry. "Then prove it." A wave of energy struck the mountain. The last Naruto protected Yuna. The mountain cracked. The choice core began rising from inside it. But something was trapped within the core. A human silhouette. Yuna stared. "That's impossible." The last Naruto asked, "What is it?" Yuna whispered, "The first person our world ever erased." The silhouette slowly opened its eyes. And the last Naruto heard a voice that sounded exactly like Naruto. "If you want freedom, you must first free me." The choice core exploded. The mountain disappeared beneath them. And the last Naruto realized his first adventure had only just begun. The man inside the core. The mountain collapsed beneath the last Naruto and Yuna. They fell through darkness. Yuna reached for his hand. "Don't let go." The last Naruto grabbed her. A golden light appeared beneath them. They landed inside a gigantic chamber. At the center stood the choice core. But it was cracked. A man was trapped inside it. The last Naruto stared at him. He looked almost exactly like Naruto. But his hair was completely white. His eyes were golden. Yuna whispered, "That's him." "Who?" "The first person our world erased." The man opened his eyes. "My name is Kale." The last Naruto stepped closer. "Why were you erased?" Kale smiled sadly. "Because I made the wrong choice." Quote, Yuna asked, "What choice?" Kale looked toward the core. "I chose freedom for everyone." The last Naruto frowned. "That sounds like the right choice." "It was." "Then why did they erase you?" Kale answered, "Because freedom created too many futures. Our world began collapsing. The leaders decided someone had to take responsibility. They chose me." The last Naruto clenched his fist. "So they blamed you?" Kale nodded. "They erased my memories. Then they placed me inside the core. Now I am forced to choose the future for everyone." Yuna looked horrified. "That's why the core keeps controlling us." Quote, Kale nodded. "I never wanted this." The last Naruto looked at the core. "Then we'll free you." Kale shook his head. "You can't." "Why?" "If I leave, the core loses its mind. The entire world will collapse." Quote, the last Naruto thought about Naruto's words. There was no perfect choice. He looked at Yuna. How many people live in this world? Billions. And if the core stops, they'll all be in danger. Quote, Kale looked at him. "Now you understand." The last Naruto became silent. For the first time, he faced a choice where every answer had a cost. Yuna stepped forward. "Don't choose for everyone." The last Naruto looked at her. "What do you mean?" She pointed toward the people watching through the core. "Let them choose." Kale's eyes widened. "That would be impossible. Not if everyone shares the responsibility." Quote, the last Naruto smiled. "Exactly." He placed his hand on the core. Golden energy spread through the chamber. Every person in the world saw the same message. Your future will no longer be chosen for you. Quote, a second message appeared. But your choices will have consequences. The people began making the decisions. Some chose to preserve the current world. Some chose change. Some chose to leave. Some chose to rebuild. The choice core began dividing into thousands of smaller lights. Kale's chains broke. He fell forward. The last Naruto caught him. Kale stared at him. "You did it." The last Naruto smiled. "No, we all did." The world began changing. The three moons became brighter. The golden grass spread across the land. The The choice core disappeared. But suddenly, Kale looked toward the sky. His expression became serious. What is it? Kale whispered. The red eye. Yuna looked up. The giant eye had returned. But now it was much larger. Kale stepped backward. That's not the observer, the last Naruto asked. Then what is it? Quote, Kale answered. It's the thing that was watching the observer. The red eye opened completely. A voice echoed across the world. You have passed the first test. The last Naruto raised his guard. Test, the voice replied. Now comes the second. The sky split open. A gigantic hand reached through the crack. And on its palm was the same golden leaf symbol that Naruto had carried. The last Naruto stared at it. That symbol. Kale looked terrified. It means one thing. What? Kale whispered. Naruto is not the end of this story. He is the beginning. The beginning behind Naruto. The giant hand remained above the new world. The golden leaf symbol on its palm began glowing. The last Naruto stared at it. That symbol belongs to Naruto. Kale shook his head. No, it belonged to Naruto. Yuna looked confused. What does that mean? Quote, Kale pointed toward the sky. The symbol was never created by Naruto. It was given to him. The last Naruto's eyes widened. By whom? Kale answered. By the first person who ever crossed between realities. Quote, the red eye opened wider. A voice echoed. Enough hiding. The hand slowly closed. The entire sky turned golden. Suddenly, a portal appeared. Someone stepped through. The last Naruto froze. It was Naruto. The real Naruto. He looked exactly as he had in Konoha. Sasuke appeared behind him. Yuna stared. How did they get here? Naruto looked at the last Naruto. So you finally made your first world. The last Naruto couldn't speak. You knew about me. Naruto smiled. I've known since the beginning. Kale stepped forward. Then tell us the truth. Naruto became serious. The world tree was never the true source of reality. Quote, everyone became silent. Naruto continued. There is something above it. The world tree connects realities. But something created the tree. The last Naruto asked. What? Naruto looked toward the red eye. The first story. The red eye suddenly disappeared. The giant hand pulled back. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. It's retreating. Naruto shook his head. No, it's inviting us. The last Naruto looked at Naruto. Where? Naruto pointed toward the sky. A gigantic staircase appeared. It stretched beyond the clouds. At the top was a black door. Naruto said, that's where the first story began. Kale looked terrified. If you open that door, everything we know could disappear. Naruto nodded. That's possible. The last Naruto stepped forward. Then why go? Naruto looked at him. Because someone has been deciding our stories for too long. Quote, Sasuke added. And this time, we decide whether the story continues. Yuna stepped beside them. Kale followed. The four began climbing. Each step showed a different memory. Naruto saw his childhood. The last Naruto saw the moment he was created. Kale saw his forgotten life. Yuna saw the birth of her world. At the top, they reached the black door. There was no handle, only a sentence. Enter only if you are willing to meet the author of your beginning. Quote, Naruto placed his hand against the door. Sasuke looked at him. Ready? Naruto smiled. Not really. Sasuke laughed. Good. Naruto pushed. The door opened. Inside was a massive library. Millions of books floated in the air. Each book contained a reality. Each page contained a life. The last Naruto stared. Who wrote all these? A voice answered from the darkness. I did. Everyone turned. A mysterious figure sat at a desk. Its face was hidden, but on the desk was a single open book. The title read, Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto stepped forward. Who are you? The figure slowly closed the book. Then stood. I am the first author. Quote, Naruto's expression hardened. And why did you write my story? The figure smiled. Because I wanted to know one thing. What? The figure looked directly at Naruto. What would happen if a character discovered that he was never supposed to be free? Quote, Naruto clenched his fist. Sasuke drew his sword. The last Naruto stepped forward. And the first author opened another book. Its title was, The End of Naruto. The first page turned by itself. And Naruto saw the final sentence. Naruto Uzumaki dies. Naruto stared at the page. Then slowly smiled. That's not my ending. The first author looked surprised. Why? Naruto stepped toward the book. Because I haven't chosen it yet. Quote, the entire library began shaking. Every book opened at once. And every reality waited to see what Naruto would choose. The author's final page. Every book in the library opened at the same time. Millions of realities appeared. Naruto saw every version of himself. Some were heroes. Some were villains. Some were Hokage. Some had never become shinobi. But every book contained the same final page. Naruto Uzumaki dies. The first author stood silently. You cannot change what has already been written. Naruto looked at the page. Then I'll write something new. The author smiled. Characters cannot write their own stories. Sasuke stepped forward. Then you've never understood us. The author looked at him. What do you mean? Sasuke raised his sword. A story isn't powerful because someone writes it. It's powerful because someone lives it. Quote, the last Naruto joined him. And was still living. Kale placed his hand on the golden leaf. Yuna stood beside him. The library began shaking. The author's expression changed. Stop. Naruto stepped toward the desk. You created the first story. But you made one mistake. What? You gave your characters the ability to choose. Naruto picked up the book titled Naruto Uzumaki. The pages began turning rapidly. Childhood, Team 7, Pain, the War, Sasuke, Hinata, Boruto. Every moment of his life passed before his eyes. Then he reached the final page. The sentence was still there. Naruto Uzumaki dies. Naruto took a pen from the author's desk. The author shouted, put it down. Naruto smiled. Why? Because if you change that sentence, the entire story will collapse. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. Naruto crossed out the sentence. For a moment, nothing happened. Then a new sentence appeared. Naruto Uzumaki chooses what comes next. The library exploded with light. Every book changed. Every ending disappeared. The author fell to his knees. No. Naruto looked at him. You wanted to know what would happen when a character discovered he was free. The author looked up. Then tell me. Naruto smiled. I'll show you. The golden light spread through the library. Characters from countless realities stepped out of their books. Every Naruto, every Sasuke, every forgotten hero, every person whose ending had been decided for them. They all stood together. The author looked around. Why aren't you afraid? Naruto answered. Because nobody can erase a choice that has already been made. The author's body began turning into pages. He looked at Naruto one final time. Then what happens to me? Quote, Naruto lowered the book. You choose. The author stared at him. After a long silence, he smiled. I choose to stop writing. His body transformed into thousands of blank pages. They floated through the library. The books became empty, not destroyed, just unwritten. The last Naruto picked up one blank page. What do we do with these? Naruto smiled. Whatever we want. Sasuke looked toward the library entrance. Should we go home? Naruto laughed. Yeah. They began walking away, but before Naruto left, he looked back at the desk. A single book remained. It had no title. Naruto opened it. The first page contained only one sentence. The story continues whenever someone chooses to turn the page. Naruto smiled. He closed the book, and walked through the door. Behind him, the library disappeared. Ahead of him was Konoha. His home, his family, his friends, and an unwritten future. Naruto looked toward the sunrise. This time, nobody knows what happens next. Sasuke smiled. Good. Naruto laughed. Then let's find out. And somewhere beyond the stars, a blank page slowly turned. The next story was waiting. The unwritten world. The blank page turned. Naruto opened his eyes. He was standing in Konoha. But something was wrong. The village looked familiar, yet nobody recognized him. A shinobi walked past. Naruto smiled. Hey, the shinobi stopped. Do I know you? Naruto's smile disappeared. Sasuke looked around. The memories are gone. Naruto looked toward the Hokage Tower. His name was missing from the monument. There was no 7th Hokage. No records of Naruto Uzumaki. No history of Team 7. Naruto clenched his fist. The author didn't destroy the story. He erased the written history. Quote, the last Naruto appeared beside them. So everyone is free. Naruto looked at him. But they don't remember the choices that created them. Yuna pointed toward the village. Look, people were arguing in the streets. Old enemies were becoming enemies again. Friends who had once trusted each other were strangers. Sasuke understood. Without their memories, they have to choose everything again. Naruto nodded. Then we let them. Quote, Sasuke looked surprised. We don't tell them who they were. Naruto shook his head. No, if we tell them what their lives are supposed to be, we're just becoming another author. The last Naruto smiled. Then what will you do? Naruto looked at Konoha. Start again. He walked into the village. A young boy approached him. Who are you? Naruto smiled. Naruto. The boy asked. Are you a shinobi? Quote. Naruto nodded. Yes. Are you strong? Naruto laughed. I've had my moments. The boy smiled. Can you teach me? Naruto looked at him. Sure. Across the village, Sasuke began helping the shinobi rebuild their training grounds. Yuna started teaching people about the worlds beyond their own. Kale helped restore the damaged records. The last Naruto watched quietly. Naruto walked toward him. You okay? The last Naruto nodded. I'm finally starting my own life. Naruto smiled. Good. Then the sky suddenly darkened. A single black page appeared above Konoha. It slowly descended. Naruto caught it. There was only one sentence written on it. The author was not the first writer. Naruto's expression changed. Sasuke walked over. What does it say? Naruto showed him. Sasuke's eyes narrowed. Then who was before the author? The black page began burning. A second sentence appeared. Find the first reader. The last Naruto looked toward the sky. Who is the first reader? Nobody answered. Then a voice came from behind them. I am. Everyone turned. An old woman stood at the edge of the village. She had silver eyes, and in her hands was the oldest book Naruto had ever seen. She looked at him and smiled. I've been waiting for you. Naruto stepped forward. Why? The woman opened the book. Because you changed the ending. She turned one page. Now you need to learn who was reading the story before it was ever written. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Another mystery had begun. And this time, there was no author to guide them. Only a reader who already knew how the story would end. The first reader. The old woman stood silently outside Konoha. The ancient book rested in her hands. Naruto looked at her. You're the first reader. She nodded. My name is Alara. Sasuke activated his Rinnegan. I can't see your chakra. Alara smiled. Because I existed before chakra. Naruto frowned. Then what are you? Alara opened the ancient book. I am the first person who ever witnessed a story. The last Naruto stepped closer. Who wrote that story? Alara looked at him. Nobody. Naruto became confused. Then how was there a story? Alara answered. It wasn't a story at first. It was a possibility. She turned the first page. A single empty world appeared. No people, no villages, no stars, only darkness. Alara continued. I watched that darkness. Then something happened. A tiny light appeared. The first thought. Naruto remembered the child. The beginning. Alara nodded. The first thought imagined choice. Quote. Choice created fear. Fear created the first fear. Fear created the need for control. Control created the observer. The observer created the author. And the author created the stories you know. Quote. Sasuke frowned. So the author wasn't the beginning. No. He was only the first writer. Naruto looked at the book. Then who created the first thought? Alara closed the book. That is the question nobody has answered. Quote. The last Naruto asked. Then why bring us here? Alara looked at Naruto. Because you broke the cycle. Naruto shook his head. We didn't break it. We just chose differently. Alara smiled. Exactly. She handed the ancient book to Naruto. The moment he touched it, every page became blank. Naruto stared. Why did the words disappear? Alara answered. Because the book is waiting for you. Quote. Waiting for what? Your first story. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke smiled. Looks like you're the author now. Naruto shook his head. No. He handed the book back. I don't want to write everyone's future. Quote. Alara smiled. Good. Then you understand. She opened the final page. A message appeared. A reader becomes an author only when they stop accepting the story as it is. Naruto looked at her. So what happens now? Alara pointed toward the horizon. A new continent appeared beyond the sea. It had never existed before. Sasuke stared. That wasn't there a moment ago. Alara nodded. Because someone just imagined it. Quote. The last Naruto looked at Naruto. Who? Alara smiled. You. Naruto looked shocked. I didn't imagine anything. Alara replied. Not consciously. Your decision to leave the future unwritten created a world where nobody had predetermined possibilities. Quote. Naruto looked toward the new continent. What is there? Alara's expression became serious. The answer to the first question. Naruto asked. Who created the first thought? Alara nodded. Yes. Quote. Sasuke drew his sword. Then we're going. Naruto smiled. Of course. The group began walking toward the coast. But before they reached it, Alara stopped. Naruto. He turned. Yes. Once you cross that ocean, you may discover something you don't want to know. Quote. Naruto smiled. I've heard that before. Alara shook her head. No. This time it's different. What do you mean? She looked at the ancient book. The first thought was not created. Naruto froze. Then what was it? Alara whispered. It was remembered. A cold wind swept across Konoha. The ocean suddenly turned black. Far beyond the horizon, something enormous opened its eyes. And for the first time, Naruto heard a voice that sounded exactly like his own. You finally remembered me, the one who was remembered. The ocean turned completely black. Naruto stood at the shore. Sasuke raised his sword. The last Naruto and Yuna stood behind them. Alara remained silent. The enormous eyes beyond the horizon opened wider. Naruto heard his own voice. You finally remembered me. Naruto looked at Alara. Who is that? Alara's expression was serious. The first memory. Quote. Sasuke frowned. Memory of what? Alara answered. Of existence itself. The black ocean began rising. A massive figure emerged. It looked like Naruto, but it was older than any version they had ever seen. Its hair was silver. Its eyes contained entire galaxies. Naruto stepped forward. Are you another version of me? The figure shook its head. No. Then what are you? I am the memory of the first Naruto. Quote. Naruto became silent. The figure continued. Before the first Naruto was born, someone remembered him. That memory became the first thought. Naruto asked. Who remembered me? The figure smiled. That is what you came here to discover. Suddenly, the ancient book in Alara's hands opened by itself. Pages began flying through the air. Every page showed Naruto's life. But there was one page Naruto had never seen. It showed a woman standing in complete darkness. She was holding a baby. The baby had whisker marks. Naruto stared. That's me. Alara nodded. But that isn't Kushina. Naruto looked closer. The woman turned toward the viewer. Her face was hidden. Then she whispered. I remember you. Naruto's heart began beating faster. Who is she? The silver-haired figure answered. The first mother. Sasuke's eyes widened. The person who remembered Naruto before he existed. Quote. The figure nodded. But she wasn't your mother. Naruto looked confused. Then why did she remember me? The figure looked toward the sky. Because your existence was predicted before the first reality. Quote. Naruto clenched his fist. So someone planned me. No. You were imagined. Naruto looked angry. What's the difference? The difference is that an imagined character can become real. And once you became real, you stopped belonging to the person who imagined you. Quote. Naruto slowly understood. That's why the author couldn't control me. Yes. Because I became something he never expected. The silver-haired figure smiled. You became yourself. Suddenly, the first mother appeared above the ocean. Her face was still hidden. She raised her hand. The entire sea turned into golden light. A bridge appeared. Alara stepped forward. She wants you to cross. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. They began walking. Halfway across the bridge, the first mother spoke. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto stopped. Yes. Do you want to know why you were remembered? Naruto nodded. The woman removed her hood. Naruto stared. She had his eyes, his smile, and the same 3 whisker marks on each cheek. But she was not human. She was the first consciousness. The beginning of every story. She looked at Naruto and said, "Because before the universe existed, I dreamed of someone who would choose freedom." Naruto's eyes widened. "Then I was your dream." The first mother smiled. "No, you were the proof that the dream could become real." Quote, the bridge began disappearing. Sasuke shouted, "Naruto!" Naruto reached forward. The first mother extended her hand. Their fingers touched. Suddenly, Naruto saw everything. The first darkness, the first thought, the first choice, the first fear, the first story, the first reader, the first author, and finally, the truth. There was no single creator, no single beginning, no single ending. Every story had created another story. Every choice had created another possibility. And every possibility had created another choice. Naruto opened his eyes. The first mother was gone. Only one sentence remained in the sky. There was never a first story. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Then where does it all begin? Alara smiled. It begins whenever someone asks that question. The last Naruto looked toward the horizon. And where does it end? Naruto smiled. It doesn't. The black ocean turned blue again. The bridge disappeared. The world became peaceful. But far away, in a place beyond every reality, a single new page appeared. On it was written, "What if Naruto was never a shinobi?" Naruto suddenly felt a strange chill. He looked toward the sky. And somewhere beyond the stars, another story had already begun. What if Naruto was never a shinobi? The new page floated in the darkness. Naruto stared at it. What if Naruto was never a shinobi? Sasuke looked at him. That's not our world. Naruto nodded. No. Alara stepped closer. Then why is it showing itself to you? Quote, before Naruto could answer, the page opened. A new reality appeared. Konoha was still there. But Naruto was different. He had never entered the academy. He had never learned ninjutsu. He had never become a shinobi. Instead, he lived quietly with his parents. Minato was still Hokage. Kushina was still alive. The village had never experienced the Nine Tails disaster. Naruto watched the peaceful family from a distance. He smiled. He's happy. Sasuke looked at the scene. That's the life you could have had. Naruto nodded. But something is wrong. A dark cloud covered the village. Minato looked toward the sky. Kushina immediately moved Naruto behind her. A strange symbol appeared above Konoha. Alara's expression changed. That's impossible. Naruto asked. What is it? The mark of the first choice. The peaceful Naruto looked up. He couldn't see chakra. He couldn't use jutsu. He had no special power. But he could see the symbol. Naruto frowned. Why can he see it? Alara answered. Because he never became a shinobi. Naruto looked confused. That makes no sense. It does. The shinobi Naruto learned to fight destiny. This Naruto never entered that world. So he learned to understand destiny. Suddenly, the peaceful Naruto walked toward the symbol. Minato shouted, "Naruto, stop!" But Naruto continued. The symbol disappeared into his chest. The entire world froze. Sasuke stared. What's happening? Alara whispered. He has become the reader. Quote, Naruto's eyes widened. The first reader. Alara nodded. The role that was passed from one reality to another. The peaceful Naruto opened his eyes. They were silver. He looked directly toward the original Naruto. For the first time, the two Narutos could see each other. The peaceful Naruto smiled. So you're the shinobi version. Naruto smiled back. Yeah. Are you happy? Naruto thought for a moment. Yes. Quote, the peaceful Naruto asked. Even after everything? Naruto nodded. Yes. Then why are you here? Naruto pointed toward the dark symbol. Because your world is in danger. The peaceful Naruto looked at it. Maybe. Naruto frowned. Maybe. The peaceful Naruto smiled. I don't think the symbol is attacking us. Then what is it doing? It is opening a door. A giant door appeared above Konoha. The same door Naruto had seen before. But this time, it wasn't black. It was completely white. The door opened. Behind it stood someone Naruto had never expected to see. Kushina. But not the Kushina from his world. This Kushina had silver eyes. She looked directly at Naruto. "You're finally here." Naruto froze. "Who are you?" She smiled. "I am the Kushina who remembers every Naruto." Naruto couldn't speak. She continued. "Your journey through the realities wasn't an accident. Quote, it was leading you here." Naruto asked. "Why?" Kushina's expression became serious. "Because there is one final reality. The reality where the first dream was made." Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke nodded. Kushina opened the white door. "Come." Naruto stepped forward, and for the first time, he wondered if the answer to everything had been waiting for him inside the person he had always called his mother. The mother of every reality. Naruto stood before the white door. The silver-eyed Kushina waited on the other side. Sasuke stepped beside him. "Naruto, this feels different." Naruto nodded. "I know." Quote, the peaceful Naruto remained behind with Minato. Alara gave Naruto the ancient book. "Take this." Naruto looked at it. "What for?" "You may need to remember something that hasn't happened yet." Naruto stepped through the door. Sasuke followed. The door closed behind them. They entered a vast white space. There were no stars, no ground, no sky, only endless light. Kushina stood in front of them. Naruto looked at her. "Why do you look like my mother?" Kushina smiled. "Because your mother was created from me." Naruto froze. "What?" She explained. "I am the original memory of motherhood. Every reality created its own version of me. Some called me Kushina, some gave me different names. But the feeling remained the same." Naruto looked down. "Then my mother wasn't unique." Kushina shook her head. "She was. Every version was unique. That's the beauty of reality." Naruto smiled. "Then why bring me here?" Kushina looked toward the distance. "Because something is trying to erase that uniqueness." Quote, Sasuke frowned. "The end." "No." "The author." "No." "The observer." Kushina shook her head. "Something older." Naruto asked. "What?" Kushina answered. "The perfect world." The white space suddenly changed. A perfect Konoha appeared. Every person was happy. No wars, no deaths, no mistakes, no pain. Naruto saw his parents, his friends, his children. Everyone was alive. Sasuke looked at his own family. He became silent. Kushina spoke. "This world can give everyone exactly what they want." Naruto frowned. "What's the price?" "Nobody can make a wrong choice." Naruto's expression hardened. "So it's not freedom." Quote, "No, it's perfection." Naruto looked around. Everyone was smiling, but nobody was truly choosing anything. They were simply living the life assigned to them. Naruto stepped forward. "I reject it." Quote, the perfect world shook. Kushina smiled. "I knew you would." Suddenly, the peaceful Naruto appeared. He looked at Naruto. "I understand now." Naruto asked. "What?" "The reason my world was created." Quote, he looked at the perfect reality. "It was never meant to be a paradise. It was a test." Naruto nodded. "To see whether we would choose freedom even when perfection was offered." The perfect world began cracking. A voice echoed. "Why would anyone choose pain when perfection is possible?" Naruto looked toward the sky. "Because perfection isn't life," the voice replied. "Then what is life?" Naruto smiled. "Choice." Quote, Sasuke added. "And consequence." The last Naruto stepped forward. "And growth." Yuna joined them. "And hope." Kale raised his hand. "And the ability to start again." The perfect world began collapsing. The voice screamed. "Then you choose suffering." Naruto shook his head. "No, we choose the right to decide what our lives mean." The perfect world shattered. Behind it was a small room. Inside sat a child. The child was drawing on a piece of paper. Naruto walked closer. The child looked up. Naruto stopped. The child had golden eyes. And 3 whisker marks on his cheeks. Naruto whispered, "Who are you?" Quote, the child smiled. "I'm the one who dreamed you." Naruto's eyes widened. The child held up the drawing. It showed a boy standing beneath a giant leaf. The title at the top read, Naruto. The child looked at Naruto. I didn't create you. I only dreamed of you. Naruto asked. Then who made the dream real? The child smiled. You did. The room disappeared. Naruto suddenly stood in darkness. The child was gone. Only one sentence remained. Every story begins as someone's impossible dream. Sasuke looked at Naruto. So what happens now? Naruto smiled. Now we return home. But before they could leave, the darkness whispered. Wait. Naruto turned. A final door appeared. On it was written, the last choice. Naruto looked at Sasuke. Sasuke sighed. Of course. Naruto laughed. Let's open it. And together, they reached for the door. Thanks for watching animevis_lore. If you enjoyed this story, like, subscribe, and comment what you think will happen next. The journey may be getting closer to its final choice, but the story isn't over yet. Subscribe to animevis_lore and stay tuned for the next part. Friends, subscribe to animevis_lore to watch the next part. Comment, next part, below, and animevis_lore will upload the next part very soon.